Coach Bobbie, congratulations on a great season. Winning the conference with so many unknowns was impressive. Can you tell us a little about your experience being at the helm of this program, and what was the biggest difference between being an assistant to being the head coach?
Well, this first year has been full of a lot of great surprises. It's been a great challenge for myself, and we're happy with where we ended up despite the unknowns at the beginning of the season. And I would say that the biggest difference between being an assistant and a head coach is just the level of responsibility and taking ownership of all of your decisions, and just the weight of the successes and failures just being a little bit heavier.
I know we've talked about this earlier in the season, but can you tell us again, how did you guys pull off the conference title and literally 6 points away from advancing to states with such a young team? I remember some of the conversations that you and I had early on, and we all didn't know what kind of team we had. How were you able to become so successful this season?
Well, it's a combination of things. First, after the preseason, we got healthy, and fortunately we stayed healthy. We have a talented group of girls, and being able to have our best lineup on the court is incredibly important. And so once we got healthy and were able to stay healthy and find a lineup that worked with the talent that we had, a lot of things started clicking. Once we went and beat City, swept City in 3, and then City went and swept Grossmont in 3, that's whenever it was a big eye-opening moment where we knew, yeah, we can actually go win this conference this year. And the door was wide open, and fortunately we stepped through and took advantage of those opportunities and played well. And our talented players showed up when they needed to. Our team came together and rallied in close sets and in close matches, and ultimately we played well enough to get the job done with the best lineup on the floor.
It's that time of the year again, Coach. We have some key players moving forward to the next level. And obviously, it's hard to replace a player like a Raven for next season. But what do you do as a coach to prepare for losing players like Raven? And also, what do we have planned in the offseason for this team?
Well, recruiting never stops at this level. The turnover is obviously, with having kids for a year or two, you constantly recruit. And so really it's just getting boots back on the ground and going after the best prospects that we can, trying to get them in for visits, trying to get them committed. And we already have some promising incoming players, and with the successful season we've had a lot of inquiries come through that maybe we weren't getting a couple years ago. So it's just back to work and going after the best that we can, and that kind of continues on indefinitely.
Got it. Now, you touched on it briefly. You're mentioning we have a couple of key additions coming in. I know it's a little bit early, but what do we expect from this team in 2019?
Well, we have a lot of freshmen, which means we'll have a lot of returners, and then all of the growing pains we had at the beginning of the season with a pretty much all freshman team, some of those types of issues are alleviated, and we now have the maturity and the leadership that we need, along with players that have a whole year of college playing under their belt. Majority of the girls will be training in the sand, competing with beach volleyball in the off season. So we know that's going to be huge for their indoor game and translate well. So we have a good bulk of returners, a lot of leadership and experience that we didn't have this year. And so we're really, really excited for next season and have a lot of great incoming pieces. And we expect to be at the top of the conference and make a good push for regionals and state, just like we did this year, and hopefully even better next year.
Mesa Volleyball has always had a rich tradition. Can you tell us a little bit about your philosophy and also what separates this program from the other programs out there?
Well, for sure, our philosophy as a program is that we want to use volleyball as a tool to teach life lessons to the girls and instill hard work and dedication, and all the student athletes creating winners on the court and in life. So I think what separates us is that we are very thorough. We don't cut corners. We offer all of the tools and invest a lot of time and energy into making sure every student athlete develops to the best of their potential and meets their goals, whatever they may be at the next level. So I think that having the people in place and the resources in place is what makes our program exceptional.
Okay. God, I'm still not over that Bakersfield game, Coach, to be honest with you. It's probably one
Me
of the
neither, Bo.
one of the best matches I've seen. What's your message to the team in moving forward after a game like that? In other words, some teams may suffer from a hangover next season after a loss like that. What's your strategy to use that as a positive in making this team even better next season?
Well, kind of at the beginning of the season, not knowing necessarily what to expect made all of the successes that we had sort of that much more exciting. And so I think moving forward and perhaps having higher expectations for next season, that we'll go in with a different mindset. We'll go in with the mindset that we are a confident, capable group of young ladies that aren't going to be surprised by successes and wins, but expect those types of things. And so moving forward, there's nothing but positive to look at. Although the result at Bakersfield wasn't what we wanted and it was a heartbreaking loss, we came back from such a huge deficit, and we've done that, throughout the entire season. So that was sort of my message to the girls after going down 0-2, was, hey, we've been resilient and we've come back and we've clawed our way back into into winning games and winning conferences against all odds, and that's what we plan to do here in this game. And they went and won the next 2 sets, and then went up in the 5th set, and just ended up falling just short. And so so you can do nothing but look at the positive. We've been a resilient group. They've come back from huge deficits and starting off slow in the season. They've done that all year, and I think that is a testament to just never giving up and staying the course and trusting that eventually the process will allow the results that we want to start coming to fruition. And so moving forward, it's just all about keeping positive, always looking ahead, and that'll always be the message, because really it does pay off, and it certainly did this season.
Well, thank you for your time, Coach. Like I said, that's one of the most fun games I've ever watched, and hopefully we'll get them again next year. What's the best way to get a hold of you if there's a student athlete that's interested in learning about the Mesa Volleyball program?
Email is usually a good first contact. bstall@sdccd.edu. That's bstall@sdccd.edu. We love to get some basic information about you, a profile, and video is always great. And then we also have our athletic questionnaire online, which is a great point of first contact as well. So both of those work pretty well.
Go Mesa.
Go Mesa!